तेरी मेर दा बोलना तुझे आगे अरदास गुरु गुरु वाहे गुरु गुरु आद गुरे नमे जुगाद गुरे नमे सत गुरे नमे श्री गुरु वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा 525 years ago Guru Nanak came to the world to give a message. I never had the privilege to speak on that day 25 years ago in Los Angeles. I spoke first time. I remember it. And I am participating today, feeling very fortunate. Because at that moment, what we understand about Guru Nanak conventionally is not true. What we understand about Guru Nanak religiously is not true. And what we understand Guru Nanak as a messenger of God is not true. The factual fact which we have been ignoring all these years about Guru Nanak and his teaching is that Guru Nanak taught something that at time your existence still belonged to the non-existence. Guru Nanak was the first Guru of the Udasi Panth, and that was that you have to be unattached while living, working and being in everything. That Guruship was given to Baba Sri Chand and then to Baba Guru Datta, the son of Guru Har Gobind. The Guruship of Sikh Dharma was given to Lena, which was Guru Angad, the part of Guru Nanak. That bifurcation is the record which we cannot separate today. The basic teaching of Guru Nanak is that you are by grace, you are by virtue, you are by blessing. Time doesn't exist. Time only makes you to appear. So you have come from Akal Purukh as Akal Murat, go through the time as Akal Murat and merge in Akal Purukh as Akal Murat. That is exactly what Guru Nanak said. His difference was not to create a new religion. His difference was not to fight with other religion. His difference was not to create congregation and try to be a great guru. That was it. Was this basic Sikh dharma. You still go. There are Gurdwara called Manji Sahib. That means a simple guru sat on a cart and talked to people in a simple language, and he talked from heart to heart. He talked to soul, he talked to person. There is no difference. And the very word which when we chant Akal Murat Ajuni Saivang Guru Prasad stands as Guru Nanak words. These are the words. It is an open challenge. It is not that we who happens to be a Sikh can only have it. There's no fanaticism in it. There's a universal reality and truth. That Mahakal, Sri Akal, what has created the universe, and the time only measures the Kal. When Nanak addressed his Sikh in person, he called him Akal Murat. You are a pictorial, personified person of that infinite God. That's what he said. The Rahat, the way we live, the way we move, the way we understand Sikh Dharma was done by gurus in total simple sequence. But consequential step was taken by the master, the father of the Khalsa, Guru Gobind Singh, when he said, Rat pyari mohe ko Sikh pyara nahi. And there he confirmed how the Akal Murt will look. He confirmed. Today there is a dispute. Today there is a mockery. Had Guru Gobind Singh not got the knowledge of experience in his own ecstasy that Khalsa is ready, he would not have given us the Guruship to the Sri Guru Granth Shabad Guru. He first found out we are matured, we are ready, we have come to the understanding. We showed Pai Mati Das, Pai Sati Das, and many Sikh, Pai Taru, and all that history for the Gurus showed that we are deathless. We created a record. Just to call yourself, I am a Sikh, and then when come to forgiveness, you are uptight. Call yourself Sikh, and when it comes to serve, you don't have time. Call yourself Sikh, and then you run away from simple things which are just human. No, we were not normal people. It is not a history or a story of normal people. It's the history and a story of people who surmounted death face to face, who created a page of history where they were fearless, they were purely living sacrifice, and they understood God in totality. That was the reality. That was the religion. That was Guru Nanak. When I was very young, my Gurnash was Welsh. And she taught me about Guru Nanak. This is her statement, which I never forget. What you teach a child lives. No, say no when you have to say no, that is Nanak. And I told her, make me understand in simple words. He said, if you belong to Nanak, you belong to Nanak? I said, yeah, I belong to Nanak. He said, if you belong to Nanak, you can't say no to anybody. I said, why not? I mean, it's not right or wrong. It's wrong to say no when you should not, but when you should say no. He said, nah, that's not right. I said, suppose you tell me to steal. Should I say yes? She said, no. You can say, it is not in the house of Nanak to steal. But you can't say no. I say, is there anything which you cannot say no and can say other side? She used to sit down with me and teach like a child. When things are gone wrong, you can say, in the house of Nanak, there is nothing wrong. So about 2-3 hours, whole day, she will remind me that I do not belong to the house of my father and my grandfather. And she used to tell me, these are the individual karma. Your father is your karam pita. That is your karam pita. Nanak is your taram pita. And if karam will not rise to the taram, you do not belong to Nanak and you are not a Sikh. Now you understand this? And I say, how to rise from karam to taram? That was my second question. She said, when there is a call of duty in which humanity has to be served and your life is just a sacrifice to it, that is a start of that karam being transferred to taram. And when I grew up, when I heard, Honi naal jo lande matha sikh khavan soi, kai war hasas ki honi ant nu mulmul roi, and then I understood the word of Akal Murat. And I want you to understand why Guru Nanak used that word. Actually, it is very beautiful to all the time to chant Naam and call Vaheguru. It becomes our habit. Even I, you, many of you, because you have that practice, you say Vaheguru all the time. But in practice, Vaheguru is a simple statement of fact. When you are challenged and when you ask, if you are Sikh of the Nanak and you believe in Vaheguru, at that time call of duty has to be answered. A Sikh cannot judge right and wrong. He is everlasting, ever-living forgiveness for the entire humanity. That criteria of the Sikh, that general kindness of the Sikh, that grace of the Sikh, Nanak Naam Garibi, here the word humility is considered in Western world like if you say you are humble, you think, oh my God, we are poor and humble and this and that. No. That's not true. It's very difficult. It needs more courage to be humble. It is very easy to be haughty. Humble means for service. Humble means to be kind. Humble means to be clear conscious. And this is what Guru Nanak was all about. In India at that time there are two authorities which were in rulership. One was the Mullah, who was the interpreter of the God, Allah. And one was the Pandit, who was the interpreter of the Brahma. That's how it is. And both were very qualified lying personalities. They lied through their teeth. When the scriptures and the knowledge and the position and the clothing and the status and the statue becomes the authority, one thing leaves, service. One thing leaves, love. Then there is a status, there is a haughtiness. When a grassroots man starts looking to a man, that is what Guru Nanak in his generation changed. And that's why today a Sikh does not look to another man, it looks to the Shabad Guru. The subtlety of knowledge, the concept and the projection of the power of the man into the individual reality of the soul has been totally not only seeded, but it sprouted and it became the Sikh, and that is Nanak. That has to be understood. Therefore, our talk, our walk, our existence, our Bani, our Bhana, our Seva and Simran has a unique projection. It's not a matter of ethics, moral rules and regulations. It's a matter of courage. It's an attempt against temptation. The enemy is within us. Temptation leads us to weakness. I was just talking to somebody that day. I said, well, you are a Sikh of the Guru. He said, yes. I said, you gave your word. He said, yes. I said, how can you back off? You have no option. And he was telling me that that other person is no good. So with a no good person, giving any word doesn't mean anything. I said, wait a minute. With no good person, giving promise is no good for an ordinary person and a common person. For a good Sikh, whether he's no good or he's all good, it doesn't matter. It's a Shabad of the Guru, spoken by a Sikh of the Guru. You gave a word. You gave a word, and your word represents the Guru. That is why we call ourselves Gurmukh. And I said, if you call yourself Khalsa, then it is a very simple thing, Sirimukh. Then it is a total Shabad of your has to have the glow, the glory, the truth, the strength, and the life in it. Whatever your father Guru Gobind Singh said is called Sirimukh. That great infinite Mukh of that Guru, of you. You are the Sahibzada, you are the son of that Guru. I said, don't do it. I'm not asking you to do it. I'm not asking you sociology, psychologically or personally. I'm not preaching you also. But I'm just reminding you that how deep your strength is, how deep your caliber is, how deep your route is, how deep your routine is, how much you are required to understand you before you. Don't wait that the day of death and you will rise and the angels will blow the trumpets and you will rise for judgment day. I said, there's not going to be any judgment. Judgment is right here. It is your Shabad. It's your Guru in testimony, in witness. Now you have to understand. I said, there should be no bell ringing early in the morning and Roshul Araval. No. Don't get up early in the morning at all. Doesn't matter. Gur Satguru ka jo Sikh, these are words of your Guru. You have no option. So palke uthar naam te aave. These are your options. And if you have option between you and Guru, then death has option between you and you. And then you shall die in disgrace because you did not take the path of grace. Don't blame. Sikh Dharma does not judge anybody tomorrow. There's no judgment. It's a simple living identity in reality of the self or the spirit. Death doesn't mean a thing. You die with your own consciousness before your own intelligence when you cannot keep your word. When you do not look like as God made you to be. And these are the words of Nanak. So simple, so elegant, so straightforward. It was never an idea to create another religion. And those of you who are in the Western world, Guru knew better. You want to look at anything negative, worst slander you want to read about your Guru? Take Trump, read him, if you have the guts. If you want to know the truth as it was, because you speak English and you are born in English language, then read McAuliffe. It happened so that for every Sikh, a factual statement of that time consolidatedly was recorded as a guideline. In the background of that, you have Sri Guru Granth. Now, read it yourself. It's not very difficult to understand it. And there's no aspect or facet of life on which he shall not talk to you. The problem is when you go to a personal guru, sitting a big one, fat one with his situation, you know, how they look like, and then you go with a lot of money and you can convince. Human is subject to convention and convincing and argument and reason, and all those things can be done. But what you can do with Sri Guru Granth? With Sri Guru Granth is a simple thing. Hukum la, all you can take an order. Open it up. It's between you and your Guru. Guru shall speak to you. It is another different your trick, you say, I don't understand this. Or this hukum is not right. It doesn't fit in the occasion and circumstances. That's your logic. That's your logic. I know in a one-person case, I got a telephone call and the lady said, this is 8th time I am opening for the hukum, it is coming the same hukum. I said, well, you do it one time more. One time the same hukum came. He says, I said, well, don't you understand? Guru is speaking to you. But this time I tried to open somewhere else. How come the same page got open? I say, I am not there. You are telephoning me. I am not telephoning you. So what I am saying, Guru is telling you something straightforward. She said, but this is a very harsh hukum. I said, you must be doing something terribly wrong. And as a father of the infinite universe and matter of master of your heart is telling you, oh stupid child, don't do this thing. That's what it is. You see, third Guru spanking left and right. I say, I can't change the language. I'm sorry. There's a lot of sweetness in it, but also there's a lot of spanking, and you are very afraid. Moment she said it was Malla Tija, I was just absolutely gone sour. I knew it. I say, well, it's a very straight talk. Malla Tija talks flat. There's no bubbliness in it. You can't get out of it. You mean to say what I have decided and Guru says I took the hukum I should not do? I say, why don't you do me a favor? Do it. I'll vouch for it. See what happens. I'm sorry for saying it and she's sorry for doing it. Caste was among us. But still life was saved. In our reality of life, sometime in our childishness, we do not understand that Shabd Guru can speak to us direct. We start babying with it, arguing with, lodging with it, trying to understand. Oh, it's a harsh. It's not. No, for a Sikh, hukum is hukum. Guru commands and Sikh obeys. And somebody once said to a Sikh, where is your Guru? He said, here. And somebody said, where? He said, I see you. He said, no. He sat down and started saying, Ik Onkar, Satnam. He said, this is Guru Nanak. Which one you want to hear? And he started saying, he said, oh, now I understand. He said, you have anything about your 10th master? He said, Rogunte or Sogunte, Jajugunte, Bhavantapacha. He said, oh, okay, now I understand how you understand the Guru. He said, I understand all of them. They are all in me, in one person. I'm just a living unit of the Guru. Who you want to hear? He said, how you guys remember all this? He said, how you guys remember all that? If you remember all that, we remember all this. What is the big deal? It's a question is that and this. Bullya Rabda ki pana idro put ke uddar lana. Bullya, what you found of the God, pluck it from there, post it there. If you remember all the nonsense of the world, we can also remember some sense what Guru gives us. And what Shabd Guru is, it can be with you without form, but it's just to inform. On this day of Nanak, birthday, I have only one line to inform you. Guru Nanak is very sweet and kind and very, very calculating. Guru Nanak doesn't have any form. It's just to inform. And a person who can be informed and doesn't get up is called lazy. So you can be lazy, crazy and leery, or you can be just alert, active and real. Guru Nanak word are just in you, should be in your heart. Bani Kant, Paisa Kant. Money is right in your pocket and Bani is which you remember. And one thing more, and I will ask your forgiveness, about Shabad Guru, about Sri Guru Granth. There's a question which I faced very painfully once, that a Sikh gentleman looking so beautiful, I wish I should look that pretty. No, his whole thing was A1 condition. He sat down behind the Sri Guru Granth, and when he was interpreting the Sri Guru Granth, all he was saying is that until there is a person to interpret the Guru, you are not going to understand it. Tolerance is also the way of the Sikhs, so we tolerated it. But when it comes to pay respect to the Sri Guru Granth, he took all the coverings like 1, 2, 3, 4. I was weak in those days myself physically, but it was so horrible for me to see that happening. Now, this is off now. This is off. Do not let anybody who does not have respect of the Guru come before you in a camouflage and insult your Guru. That's not real. And I called the Aspinola Sangat and I called them on this immediately. Then Guru's service was done properly, 5 beloved ones came with the swords, Nagara was played, Mahakal Mantra was sung, and Guru's procession was taken. And it amazed me, shockingly, that all our Sangat bowed except those who were actually there doing the Kirtan the whole day. And then I asked their Jathedar, I said, what is this? You sing the hymns of my Guru, but you have no honor and respect in self-view that you can honor it. He sat down and he asked me one simple question. He said, Yogi ji, without a man, without you, how this all could have happened? I said, wait a minute, sit down, sit down. Without all this, I would not have been. It is Guru grace. How much one can be blind? He said, how you can interpret the Sri Guru Granth can give you a knowledge? I said, it's a very simple thing. It's a permutation, a combination on the entire life of you. Go to any doctor, understand the frontal lobe is the nothing but personality, and the hypothalamus controls the automatic. When the tongue rotates on the hypothalamus meridian points, 84 meridian times, the hypothalamus open up and all this Kamal Bagase, what you're talking about, happens. Man doesn't need another man. Sri Guru Granth cannot give the knowledge. What are you talking about? I say blind can read with a touch, and with a touch of this tongue you cannot open up your whole system of knowledge. Do you understand Sri Guru Granth? Correctly speaking, that's why last time in Los Angeles I warned those who must speak, speak little. Just read one Shabad, but read correctly. Don't start typing A instead of E. If it is Pave, then just see Pave. It means something. Sri Guru Granth is very clear. There are 3 sodars there. Different combination, different mud, little different. You might thinking that while somebody was writing, he wrote it wrong. No, my dear. It's a permutation and combination to stimulate the stimuli of the psyche, of the energy of the hypothalamus. The entire science of japa is based on it. Therefore, don't hesitate at all. Learn Vaheguru, Guru Mantra hai. Say it. Say it. If you don't know anything, just say it. Now, the vibratory information is like this. And let us record it for 2000 years from now. Then the vibratory interpretation of the psyche of that projection which a man speaks through the pranic energy with the combination of the tattvas. And as time is a tie between the person, self and the tattvas, classify the person into the reality and breaks the tie of the time into the tattvas, all knowledge of the universe dawn on such individual. And Sri Guru Granth holds the key to it. Therefore, we respect with heart and with head. That's why our head bows and our heart is filled with love and joy. And in essence, we understand the science of the Shabd Guru. Shah Bad. Vaheguru Guru Mantra hai, jab home khoi. Shah means ego, which kills the ego. When there is ego killed, God becomes your amigo, life becomes universal, Sikh becomes in ecstasy, can serve all in that criteria. And that, as it is the beginning of the age of Aquarius, that's what Sikh Dharma is meant to be. I like to share with you, to congratulate, and I like to share with myself the kindest regard of my Guru that gave us 25 years to serve, to be in the Satsangat. It's the kindest regards of our heart, our head bowed. We find ourselves virtuous that we have walked 25 years together in His grace, under His protection, and singing together Ang Sang Vaheguru. And any other time when you will walk, and your children will walk, and your grandchildren will walk, it will be what you said today. May Guru Nanak be with us forever and guide the humanity with love, affection, compassion, kind and care. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa. Yes. I know. Come on.
It's in Sumane Anta Tumte Ucha Bhagavanta Sagala Samagari Tumri Sutardari Tumte Hoi Su Agyakari Tumri Gata Mita Tumihi Jani Nanikadasa Sada Kurbani Tumri Gata Mita Tumihi Jani Nanikadasa Sada Kurbani Waheguru, 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 Ek Onkar Sri Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh, Sri Bhagavati Ji Sahai, Var Sri Bhagavati Ji Ki Patashai Dasami, Pritam Bhagavati Sumanake, Guru Nanak Lediyai, Fir Angad Gurute Amaradas Ramdase Hoi Sahai, Arjuna Harigo Binano, Sumaro Sri Harai, Sri Har Krishna Diaye, Jasadite Sabduk Jai, Teg Bahadur Simane Gonana Davedai, Sabdai Hoi Sahai, Dasmi Patashah, Sri Guru Gobind Singh Maharaj, Sabtai Hoi Sahai, Dasmi Patashah Jot, Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji Dipati Tarada Dyandar Ke Khalsa Ji Sahib, Bolo Ji Satnam Sri Waheguru, Satnam Sri Waheguru, Satnam Sri Waheguru. Panja Piyariya, Jahan Sabzariya, Chaliya Muktiya, Hatya Japya Tapya, Jinanam Japya, Vandake Chakya, Deg Chalai, Teg Vahi, Deke Sunake, Andit Kita, Tina Piyariya, Satyariya, Dadyandar Ke Khalsiji Sahib, Boloji Satnam Sri Waheguru, Satnam Sri Waheguru, Satnam Sri Waheguru, Jinna Singna Singniya de Dharmahed Sistite, Ban Ban Kitai Kopriya Lahaya Charaki Dechere, Arena Chai Geiger Dwargi Seva Lai Kurbaniya Kitiya, Dharamna Hi Hariya, Siki Kesa Swasanandabahi, Tinadikamadan Dyandar Ke Khalsiji Sahib, Boloji Satnam Sri Waheguru, Satnam Sri Waheguru, Satnam Sri Waheguru. Chahatakata, Sarbar Gurdwariya Guru Ramdas Ashrama Dadyandar Ke Khalsiji Sahib, Boloji Satnam Sri Waheguru, Pritame Sarabada Khalsiji Gardasa Heji, Sarabada Khalsiji Ko, Waheguru, 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 Chitta Avi, Chitta Avnaka, Saraka, Sarabsuko Hove, Jahan Jahan Gur Khalsiji Sahib, Tahan Tahan, Recheret, Deg Teg Fete, Britki Pech, Pantki Jeep, Sri Sabji Sahai, Khalsiji Ki Bot Bale, Bolaji Satnam Sri Waheguru, Satnam Sri Waheguru, Satnam Sri Waheguru. Sikinu Sikidan, Keshdan, Rehetan, Bibekdan, Visedan, Brosadan, Danasirnamdan, Sri Amritsar Sahib Ji Ki Darshanishnan, Chunke Junde Bunge Jugajugatal, Dhanamake Jai Jaikar, Boloji Satnam Sri Waheguru, Sikidamaniva, Maduchi Mata Aprak Waheguru, Hai Kalpurk Apane Pata, Sada Sahai Datarjio, Hai Namani Daman, Natani Natan, Ni Utani Ut Sachipata Waheguru. O Guru Sahib, we stand together here in the house of Guru Ramdas to give thanks, to gather on this auspicious occasion of the birthday of our father in Dharma, Guru Nanak Sahib Ji. May we be uplifted and serve the house of Guru Ramdas in the spirit of Guru Nanak. We ask a blessing upon our guide and teacher, the Siddhi Singh Sahib, Bhai Sahib Harbhajan Singh Khalsa Yogi Ji, who is thy humble servant. Through the grace of Guru Ramdas, may he be healed, may he be protected, and may all his requirements be covered, and may his prayer be answered that we all rise to our highest potential as leaders in this Aquarian age and setting the example of being 10 times greater than him. Bless all the Khalsa enterprises, ashrams, gurdwaras, yoga centers, that they may thrive and prosper and provide a leadership base and a base on which we can expand and spread the teachings of Guru Nanak through Guru Gobind Singh throughout the entire world. We ask a blessing on all those in need of your healing energy. Bless Betty Tausch, the sister of Dharam Damama Singh, with healing. Guru Prasad is placed before you through its sweetness. May we ever recall and remember the sweetness that comes from chanting thy Gurbani, from serving you, from living in the consciousness of service in the house of Guru Ram Das. Forgive any errors, any omissions in this Ardas, please cover them. Akaravada bulu chukumuf karani sarbe de karadras karani se pyare mel jinamilia teranam chit ave Guru Nanak naam charadi kala terabane sarbat bala. Waheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji ki Fateh. Agya be akal ki tabi chalayo panta, sab sikan ko hukm hai Guru maniyo granta. Guru Granth Ji maniyo pragat Quran ki de, jor bebe ko mil boche hai ko chubed mele. Raj kare ka Khalsa akire hai na koe. Kuaroe sab milenge bachish ranjo hoe. Raj kare ka Khalsa akire hai na koe. Kuaroe sab milenge bachish ranjo hoe. Bole Sanihal Sri Akal. Waheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji ki Fateh.
Satguru Prasad bin dekhe upja nahi rasa, jo disa so hoye binasa. Paran sat jo jabe naam, so jogi kevul nehkam. Parche Ram ruva jo koi, paras parsa dukha na hoi raha. So mun man ki dubda khaye, bin dware tralok samaye. Man ka subhav sab koi kara, karta hoy so anbar ha. Fal karana fuli ban raye, fal laga tab ful bilaye. ज्ञान कारण कर्म अभ्यास, ज्ञान प्रयात कर्म नाश. घृत कारण धद मत सयान, जीवत मुक्त सदा निर्वाण. कह रविदास परम बैराग, हृदय राम की ना जप स अभाग.
Nehru, hymns of Sire Ravi Das. There is but one God, by true Guru's grace he is obtained. Without seeing the Lord, the desire to meet him wells up not. Whatsoever is seen, that shall pass away. Without seeing the Lord, the desire to meet him wells up not. Whatsoever is seen, that shall pass away. He who utters the Lord's name with praise, that yogi alone is desire-free. When someone utters the Lord's name with love, coming in contact with God, the philosopher's stone, he is rid of another's love. Pause. He alone is the silent sage who destroys his mind's duality. Without seeking the protection of the Guru's door, O man, how shalt thou merge in the Lord of the three worlds? Every man acts according to his mind's disposition. He who is attached to the Creator Lord, he alone remains fear-free. The vegetation blossoms for producing fruit. When it fruitions, then the flowers decay. For the sake of divine knowledge, the religious deeds are practiced. When divine knowledge is obtained, then the deeds come to an end. For Gi, the wise people churn the curd. Similarly, they who are blessed with the gnosis, they are emancipated while alive and ever remain detached. Says Ravi Das, O luckless man, why contemplatest thou not thy Lord in thy mind with profound love? Says Ravi Das, O luckless man, why contemplatest not thou the Lord in thy mind with profound love? Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. This hukam is from Ravi Das Ji, and he says that without experiencing the Lord, without seeing him, the desire to meet him doesn't come up in the heart. And whatever is seen here on the earthly plane in this illusion, that's all going to pass away. It's the true Lord that's there forever. That one who utters the Lord's name and meditates thereon, he's the only yogi who is free from desire. When someone speaks and meditates on the Lord's name with love, he comes into contact with God, and he's like that philosopher's stone. He's changed, he's transformed, and he is rid of all other love except the one love for the one Lord. He alone is deemed a silent sage who gets rid of his mind's duality. And Ravi Das says, without seeking the protection of the Guru's door, how are you going to make it? How are you going to become emancipated and merge in the Lord of the three worlds at the end? Every man, he says, acts according to his own mind's disposition. Those who are attached to Maya are so disposed. He who is attached to the Creator Lord alone, he is the one who remains fear-free. Just as the vegetation sacrifices itself in order to produce the fruit, and when the fruit comes, then that flower goes away, so for the sake of divine knowledge, religious deeds are practiced. And when that divine knowledge is obtained, then those deeds come to an end. For Gi, the wise people churn the curd. You got to do some work in order to get the Gi. Similarly, those who are blessed with that divine knowledge, they are emancipated while alive, having done that work. Says Ravi Das, O luckless man, why aren't you meditating on the Lord in your mind with profound love? So Ravi Das concludes and says, O friend, O luckless man, now's the time. Why aren't you contemplating the Lord in thy mind with profound love? Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.